So the story of my thesis begins in 1492 when Columbus stumbled into a couple of continents on his way to Asia. Now, this was a really big deal for his European counterparts since it meant that they had a whole new world to conquer, settle, and live off for the next 5 centuries. Now, bear in mind that at this point, Europeans have been sedentary for about 8,000 years, living in agricultural communities and whatnot. So when they came to the New World, they brought their lifestyle with them, building organized towns and setting up European-style farms. They named things like New France or New Spain or New England. And by and large, this way of life was really successful, with one very large exception, Newfoundland. Now, here too, the Europeans tried to settle and build old world-style manor houses like the English colony of Avalon at Fairyland, but these were such financial disasters that most of their patrons went home hoping to never set foot on this island ever again. It was just too inhospitable. But little by little, European families kept coming, and without power structures or land titles to tie them down, they developed a lifestyle that was contrary to 8,000 years of lived experience. They started to migrate between their summer fishing ports and wintering cabins deep in the Newfoundland interior. Now, despite this being the main form of life on the island for most of the population for 300 years, we know very little about this practice or how it developed. Worse, we don't even know where most of these wintering cabins are since they're tiny and located kilometers away from the interior, in the interior. So this is where my research comes in. From careful analysis of documentary evidence, I hope to build a predictive model to identify where some of these wintering cabins might have been located. Then I can go out, trudge through a boggy forest, and hopefully recover some of these relics of European settlements that must exist in their hundreds on this island. Now, this is a far cry from digging somewhere that's really warm and exotic, but it's a lot more important. Only through this work can we start to understand this highly unorthodox method of European settlement and colonization, and then look at the broader implications that this has to trying to understand human adaptability to adverse environmental and socio-political challenges like the ones that we are faced with today. Thank you for listening.